Okay, welcome to this edition of This Is How It Should Go. Let's check and make sure that I have everything I need. First off, I have my pre-lab. I have all the materials that I should need, a simplified list of directions, an area to put my data, and of course an area to make my calculations for the percent sag. So, what do I need? First of all, I have my first variation of starch and a dry measure tablespoon there. I have 3/4 cup of water. I have a pan and a spoon for stirring. I have my line spread diagram covered with a sheet of wax paper and a cylinder to do that test. I have a second sheet of wax paper standing by for my second line spread test. I have 2 custard cups, one of which is still in. I labeled because I'm going to put it in the freezer for you. I have an ice bath full of ice and water to put that second custard cup into. I have a thermometer to monitor the temperature while it's in there. And of course I have another sheet of wax paper with a knife for measuring the depth when I plop it out of that custard cup after it's cooled onto the wax paper for the percent sag test. And of course I have a ruler. So let's get started. First thing, blend the starch with a 1/4 cup of water to create a starch paste. So I'm going to take this. We can use the straight edge of our knife. All right, for this purpose as well, I'm going to go ahead and pour a 1/4 cup of water in there. There we go, that's about a 1/4 cup. There's 1 tablespoon of starch. Second tablespoon of starch. Set my knife back over there for use later. And I'm just going to go ahead and hydrate this starch in a little bit of water that's in there already. It's pretty thick at first, but as you hydrate it and kind of mix it around, it's going to turn into a nice paste. Go. Now that I have a nice paste, I'm going to add the rest of the water. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on. It's already set on medium heat. And I'm going to start heating this. I'm going to stir it constantly so that I don't get chunks of starch. And I'm just going to keep on going until it reaches a full boil. Okay, I think we're almost there. We're getting some gel formation in here. It's starting to thicken up a little bit. It's steaming, but it's not boiling yet, so I'm going to keep on going just a little bit more. I'm getting a lot more gel formation here as it heats up. Getting pretty thick, steaming a lot. Still not quite there though. It's not boiling. Starting to see a few bubbles now. It's very thick now. It's a very thick paste. Still not bubbling though. Just going to keep on stirring it, keep on going until I get a boil out of this. All right, it's a good thick paste now and it's boiling, so I'm going to turn my burner off. I'm going to remove it from heat. Put this over here, get my thermometer out. Let's kind of scrape it all down here. Put my thermometer in there and it's going up to 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, okay, that's sitting at about 150 degrees, so I'm just going to set it here. And I'm going to monitor the temperature of that until it comes down to 120 degrees. Okay, we're going to call that close enough. We'll pull the thermometer out, get our spoon, we're going to scoop some of this into our cylinder. There you go, we're going to lift that off and start the timer, 30 seconds. While that's timing, I'm going to go ahead and scoop some more of this into one of these custard cups. So I'm going to write 5 for my 120-degree line spread test. Meanwhile, I have this one cooling to 80 degrees. Did an ice bath. And at the moment it's still about 100 degrees, so we're going to let it wait for a little while. All right. As you can see, we've made it down to 80 degrees. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to pull this out. Here's my sheet of paper for this sag test. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of scrape around the edge because this is a pretty good gel. And look at that gel! Now the height of my cup, 57 millimeters. Go ahead and write that down. And this I don't actually need to stick a knife into. I think I could just measure the height of it itself. And I gotta say, it looks like it's still 57 millimeters. So 57 minus 57 gives a difference of 0. Divided by the original height, 57, that's 0% sag. Wow! So I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna put it back in the labeled cup, and I'm gonna freeze that for you guys.